On the eve of the Nutrien Standardbreds and Haras Trotters trotting series starting up at Kilmore, Mark Barton joins me. Barto, welcome.
Yep, good on you, mate. Good to see you. Nice sunny day here.
I'm playing at home. This is a rare luxury for me. I'm going to head off in the car very shortly, and I will be at Kilmore. Excitement level about the Trotters tonight?
Oh, look, mate, we had a great night last night, and look, the trotting gait in itself is a different one for me to learn, and there's a lot of passion in that part of the sport. I'm really looking forward to it. Some great genetics and some wonderful young horses.
We'll touch on last night probably at the end of the show because there were some really key standout performances there. Tonight, though, the inaugural race winner, the locomotive who took all before him last year, he returns to the racetrack. Sail Topping Colt is in the same race with Basilica. Really good interest, full stop, in the whole card. But that 3-year-old boy's Prelude, it's got so much interest about it.
Yeah, look, like you say, a Prelude, all of those horses will go straight through to next Friday's final. But I think it's great to see him have a hit out. Like we've said a number of times, the Locomotive was probably our first celebrity horse, I think, for Nutrien.
Yep.
And like you say, the fun of seeing a Sail Topper now in our race final, effectively, in this Prelude tonight as well. That's really exciting, and I know the owners are keen. They'll be here watching him go around as well.
The Trotters are growing. Haras Trotters, their continued support, their naming rights sponsor. They're also such great contributors behind the scenes as well with a large draft year in, year out. You can't run a sale series without their support.
Look, in a good sales series, one, you need the backing, and look, without the support these guys with sponsors, these races, these 3-year-olds will chase 125,000 for fillies and colts, which I reckon is the highest prize pool that a trotter chases each year in Australia. So that in itself is exciting. The international genetics that have been made available to Australian buyers, not just the Haras Trotters, the Yabby Dam team, but across all our vendors. You look at some of the stallions on offer in this next season, it's exciting for the trotting gate.
I think that's the exciting part about it, is it is a little bit contagious. We have the Haras Trotters and we have Aldebaran Park that are probably noted as your trotting families. Malabar Farms, they've got the leading sire in New Zealand and one of the leading sires in Australia for as long as I can remember, in Majestic Sun and Elite Stride. Kath McIntosh, Lower Long Farms, great supporters of yours as well. They've got King of the North, Pastor Stephen, and also a Frozen Seaman horse, which his name has escaped me, but that horse will be standing there as well. These guys are great stalwarts, if you like, of the Nutrien series and how it all works, and the fact they've got these quality trotters as well. It's remiss to not promote what these guys have.
Oh, look, I think if you've got access to them, particularly when you've got horses that stand here in the country, you've got the genetics that are there for them, and you've got a prize pool to match that. I think it's people with trotting fillies or mares, they're spoiled with choice a bit this season.
No, they are indeed, and even next season we will get onto that. But great to be part of Kilmore. Kilmore getting involved with the trotters as well. So it's an exciting step, and I think it's exciting full stop, the way Nutrien have embraced the trotters. I openly have a great love of the trotter, but then also the way that I suppose Haras Trotters and everyone else has got on board and supporting them as well.
Yeah, look, and I guess if you look at our eastern state sales, we're Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Bathurst. We won't see a trotter in Bathurst, I don't think, but there's a nice sprinkling of trotters in Brisbane, and just mention that with the Albion Park Club Racing Queensland, and they've confirmed again, if you buy a trotter out of the Queensland Sunshine Stars sale, they'll have a $25,000 race for those horses for 2-year-old fillies and a $25,000 trotting 2-year-old colt gelding. If the numbers don't support a field, they will combine that prize pool for a mixed sex. So you buy one of the trotters out of Brisbane, they can come back and chase $25,000 minimum in the winter as a 2-year-old, and then they can come back to the Nutrien, chase $62,500 as a baby, and then come back and chase this prize pool of 125. So there's a lot of incentives for those, and we'll see trotters in Sydney, and obviously Victoria is the backbone of the trotting catalogue for us, and we're looking at a terrific catalogue, probably the best we've seen.
And of course that rolls into April next year, and the boosted stake money increase there as well. Again, more excitement for the trotters. Yeah,
definitely. I think what we're seeing is a sale weekend or an event that includes the race, and I think what we're actually looking forward to next Friday, it's going to be great to see the best of the juvenile 2- and 3-year-old pacers and the best of the 2- and 3-year-old juvenile trotters from our sale catalogues someone made the comment last night, this is a really, it's a city class of horses, and it was great to see them race at Bendigo.
One thing we need to get across for people out there too, it's not locked in stone that it'll be 100% in Victoria each year in, year out. There is a commitment for 2024, and that gives the people looking at selling horses next year some confidence, knowing that they'll be selling horses, the race series will be on, so there will be people there that have got, hopefully got money in the pockets from their horses, coming to buy horses, and that excitement builds.
Look, I've no doubt, I know there's some New South Wales-based breeders that have said, look, no, we've got to have a couple of horses in that in the Melbourne catalogue because we want to be part of the weekend. I think if you look at what's on offer over this next 8 months, like it's just on 2.2 million with the next weekend's final plus the April final. But we HRV have got a new CEO, and he said, look, would you support this concept? I said, well, look, let's do it for next year, and we'll have a look at it. But we're also acutely aware we've got a business that's now across 3 states. We've got terrific support from the guys in Queensland as well. They have their Sunshine Stars races in July. Or August, so we want to make sure we want to try and complement all of those and give people with these young horses something to go to, racing options.
It is, and it's an excitement level, and those other couple of states unfortunately don't have the trotting numbers, but the way this sale works, hopefully in years to come, they will get the numbers up there, and New South Wales or Queensland could be the home of the trotter, or on a par with Victoria, which would be super exciting.
Look, and I think if you look at the trotting sires, there's a few of those standing in Queensland this year too. So I think Queensland is certainly on track to grow, and I think we talk about our sponsor in Haras the Trotters. There's trotting sires in New South Wales available too. For next season.
Connection and Honest Streak stood there last year with Cobbity Farm, so I think that part's exciting. A good friend of ours too, Madawi, Darren Ray, he's having a great run up there in Queensland at the minute with my high expectations. I think he's had a double 2 weeks ago, another winner last week, so these sorts of horses, they're there. That's a beauty. That is a beauty of the trotter. That's one of the great things about it. They can be very well bred, or they can be just like a homebred almost, and they can still reach the same great heights, which is terrific.
And look, I think with all these horses, when you look at the fields tonight at Kilmore, no one told the horse what they paid for him, so any one of them can stand up and win, and I think that's what we saw at Menangle on Tuesday. We saw Shannon Price had a double there with her horses, and one was a high-end horse that I think she might have paid 100 for, and the other one was I think below sale average. So I think she's obviously got an eye to pick a horse that can run early, but I think it proves the point. There's going to be plenty of horses in the final next weekend or next Friday night that have probably been bought for less than 30.
Must be wrapped with how it is working. I mean, there's some talk about the smaller fields, and we'll touch on those in a minute, how they may look next week. But overall, 2 states with the paces. Bay of Biscay last night was just outstanding. But I mean, the Big Boss was equally as it was just
there's a whisker in it.
4 horses, and I mean Gary Hawthorne and Jenny Gallagher, they were there. They ran last, and they were stoked. I mean, it was only a 4-horse field, but the overall excitement, I suppose, and the build-up to how this race series is looking.
Look, I guess, for people to understand it, if you look at the 2-year-old fillies, pacing fillies, last night we saw 4 go around. There were 4 nommed in New South Wales as well, but in New South Wales, they have to have 6 horses to stand up. So the decision was, when entries closed, all nominations were accepted, and those heats would go through to the final. In the case of New South Wales, they weren't able to run because the field didn't allow it. So those horses will automatically qualify. So we've got an 8-horse field for the 2-year-olds. The 2-year-old
with a superstar coming too in Luxa Turner. Like, I mean, it's
Pink Bonnet and the Breeders. The Bathurst Gold Crown. She's a filly that she could be one we've seen last year and the year before, like Ladies in Red. We saw some absolute standout fillies, and she's got the makings of another one of those household names in the sport.
Untapped speed and just a beautiful filly, and very, very professional, full stop, as is Ricky Orchin. So
I was going to say, Ricky he's got a number of horses that he's run around. He could come down to Bendigo next week, I reckon, with a 4 or 5 horse team to compete in the Nutrien finals. He's been a great supporter. I think the Laspina family have also been great supporters of Nutrien, but also of Ricky's stable, and he's got runs on the board. He's proven himself as a 2-year-old stable. He produces winners.
Reverse of that too, how great was it for Goadsby Racing, or Guzdolphin, Racing, to bring those 2 fillies down last night and showcase them. They're not out of it. I mean, Nathan gave that filly of Guz's a pretty easy run. I forgot the name of it all of a sudden. Ignite the Fire.
Ignite, yeah.
Anyway, but they gave him a good little run. But it was great for him to bring those horses down and build for this next Friday night's race series.
That filly that won that, she, I reckon, was runner-up in a heat, made the final of the Bathurst Gold Crown as well. She's a filly that I think picked up her Vic Bred bonus. She's an Alabar bred horse, so she might even be a Vic Bred Platinum, so she could have picked up another, what is that, 10,000?
No, there should be still 8,000, I think. Someone will correct me this year, but yeah, I think it's 8,000 this year.
But the benefit of that horse coming down, and I know they, those two horses, like I say, I saw those Gustolfin horses at Bathurst. I followed them because I've got one in the same age group myself that'll actually line up as well, which is exciting, for us to have one that gets round in the final as well.
So saying she's coming down too.
She'll be there. She's she's seen Luxa Turner a couple of times before, and we're happy. We look at the Steve Bradbury syndrome, I suppose. But no, look, it's class, and it's great to see class horses make the trip.
Friday the 11th, Bendigo. Not sure what time the first race is. I'll get that out a little bit better early next week once we see the times and that. But we encourage people to come along. People that have been a part of the race series, even if you don't have a horse that you may have bred. Come along and enjoy the Nutrien experience, I suppose.
Look, and that's the point. If you're at the track and you're a Nutrien person in any way, you bought one, you sold one, you've come to a sale, pop up. We've got a hospitality area. We want to, just if you got time, drop in, have a snack or grab a drink and enjoy the night, because it's not every day that we can bring nearly $1 million worth of racing to the city of Bendigo.
And sit on the grandstand on the deck there and overlook it. It was pretty nice. But we want to make sure people come. Entries are still open.
Yeah, they are
for the sales to the end of August.
Yeah, that's right. Last week in August, our entries will close. We're really pleased with where they are. What the catalogue, I think sales companies say it every year. I'm excited by a number of horses in all those catalogues. I think the support from the vendors, we had a tough season for people breeding, and I think for those people breeding horses, it is a long-term commitment. And those same people are making those decisions what stallions they'll choose. Then they've got to breed them, then they've got to file them down and get them to this stage. And then you talk about the Galthorne stable, like. They've sold horses, they came and made the effort, but that little piece still belongs to them. And I think the interest of the likes of Brett Coffey watching that great horse go round, I think we own them for life, just a little piece of them. And I think that's part of the emotional connection with the horse.
And there was a great tie-in with the Lower Long, the Heidi George. They had that on there the night, but you guys as well got involved together. But next week, it'll be Nutrien, but that infectious, I suppose, fun, if you like. And that's what the one thing Kath keeps saying, and quite a few of us keep saying, we've got to have fun when we go to the industry. You can look at the bad sides of things, but you've got to go there and have fun, and that's one thing that Nutrien do bring. Bring a bit more colour, pizzazz, and a bit of excitement.
Oh, look, and that's what the owning of a horse should be. I know that the people on the track every morning are the ones doing the hard work as owners. You do want to. It's often discretionary spend. We are after off people's income, so you've got to make that an environment where people say, "Look, I'm happy to invest," but as a new person as owning a horse, I think there's nothing better than when they do go past the post first. It's a lot of fun.
Just one very quick one, Bathurst. Are they open at the minute, Bathurst?
Yeah, we open Bathurst at the same time. We'll take them right through till December, though.
Okay.
Yeah, with the idea that a lot of people don't make that final decision on whether they're going to keep those. There's some people that only breed a horse for the Bathurst market. There's a lot of people that go to Bathurst to buy. Look, it's a great little market. So I made the point, the Bathurst, there's a lot of very discerning buyers that buy on type.
Yep.
Then they'll look at a page, the old school, and it's so it's open now, and we don't tend to get those entries in until the Sydney and Melbourne catalogues close. And then some people might even shift a horse and say, look, how many buy that sire, or how many, with an alphabetical thing, they might actually push a few back to the Bathurst market.
And it's a great environment, and it is a lot of fun. Bardo, thank you. As I said, I'm playing at home. We're playing at Kilmore tonight. Going to be a great night of trotting racing. 5 trot races, all sponsored by Haras, Trotteurs and Nutrien. But again, a lot of other sponsors behind the scenes that contribute greatly to Nutrien and the Nutrien experience. And then back to Bendigo next Friday the 11th. Not that other date. Friday the 11th. And we encourage people to come. If you've got connections of horse, please come racetrack. Boys come up and introduce themselves.
Come and see the team.
But if you've bred a horse and been a part of the Nutrien experience, come along for the night, even if you haven't got one.
No,
come along
exactly.
and stand alongside Jenny and Gary and cheer for their horse if you want to cheer for the underdog. So we want people to get involved and have a bit of fun. Mate, thanks for joining me. Look forward to seeing you at Kilmore tonight and next Friday.
I
definitely.
I hope the weather's the same when we get to Kilmore.
Mate, beautiful. Central Victoria. I told you it's always nice here. Thank you very much, Bardo.
All right, mate. Good on you.